Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to a very special edition of Chillin' with Kenny C. This is the 17-year anniversary show. This is the all wrestling edition, and I have interviewed some wrestlers. Now, this man right here, he's one of the bosses. He's one of the co-owners of Tri-State Wrestling, which is a Cincinnati-based wrestling promotion. They do shows in Indiana as well. They're gearing up for their next show, which is coming to you on September the 14th. It's going to be at the Fitting Center for Creative Arts at Hamilton, Ohio. And so far on the card, it is Damian Chambers goes one-on-one with Matt Diesel. Kayla Cassidy will be at ringside. And then the main event already announced. Trey Lamar, the longest reigning TSW heavyweight champion of all time, will face the man he won the title from. That would be the young GOAT, Marlon Reed. And to talk about that and all things TSW, Mr. Jerrod Rollins is with me right now. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great, Kenny. I really appreciate you having me on here tonight, man. Love to talk a little wrestling.
Yeah, for sure, man. So before we get to base, I have to tell this story. So 2021, the Square Circle Expo happened, the first expo. So that is how I heard of TSW. I've been to the booth every single year, actually. I've been to the booth every single year. So a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people pay attention to my adventures, the events that I go to. But TSW does. They watch all the events that I go to. So they've been trying to get me to a TSW show. And they've done it as polite as they possibly can. And I appreciate their patience in that regard. I have been to so many promotions, I've lost track of how many I've different promotions I've gone to. But so I've been a fan of TSW from a distance, and I said I was going to eventually go to one of these shows. And long and behold, fast forward to 2024, the very first show of TSW of 2024, and I was there for that show, and I had a really good time. It was good to see familiar faces that I've been fans of for a long time. And it was good to see some people that I'm not familiar with up until that show. TSW is an incredible class personified promotion. Takes good care of their talent, takes good care of those that travel a long way. And if you haven't been to it, if you're a Cincinnati person and a resident surrounding areas, and you haven't been to TSW, I can assure you, you should go to a TSW show. So I wanted to start the interview off with that. So
Well,
thank
I
you.
appreciate that, Kenny. Those are very, very kind words, my man. It's great that you're such a big fan of wrestling. I wish there were more people like you who, supported all the different, great organizations out there. We're that way. We want everybody to enjoy all the wrestling that's out there. We want everybody to do well, and people like you, really help make that happen. So yeah, we've definitely felt your support. Even before you came to one of our shows, you've
Yeah,
been supporting us, and we really feel it, man. We really appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely, man. So September 14th is right around the corner, literally a month away. So a lot has transpired on the previous show. Most notably, the Stack the Deck chip match, when multiple competitors competed, and the winner would get a shot at Trey Lamar's TSW title. Now, the match that was just announced just today is two competitors from that same match, and that is Damian Chambers and Matt Diesel. So obviously, I was not at the show. I did see some highlights, some reactions to it. I saw the video from yesterday. Kayla Cassidy was being interviewed, got into what about Diesel, who's highly upset
Mhm.
of what transpired. So talk about what led to this matchup between Diesel and Chambers.
Yeah, this is a little rivalry that started back at our April show, our first show of the year at Hamilton, where Damien came out, and that was really when he and Kayla kind of first debuted, as a sort of a team, sort of a couple at our show, and he really attacked Diesel from behind, really laid a beating on him, saying that he just felt like Diesel was getting way too many shots at the title, at some top end things, and it was kind of like, where's my shot? I'm just going to make my shot. And so ever since then, those two have been going at it on social media. They went at it in the Stack the Deck match, and Kayla got involved there again. So these guys, I think, finally the two of them being able to get in the ring for a singles match, it was bound to happen at some point here along the way, and that's going to be one of those, I think, is going to have a lot of emotion to it when we get to September. That's one I think even the fans are looking forward to. They've been waiting for these guys to really be able to go at it.
So I'm very familiar with both guys. I've seen Diesel in Kentucky, and in Indiana, and even Ohio, from my understanding.
Yeah,
Chambers, on the other hand, I've seen plenty of him through Derby City Wrestling. I see him AEW, and then I also see him in Grindhouse Pro Wrestling with the Win Generals Podcast Championship. These are two incredible, talented
very talented
individuals.
guys.
And the fact that you got them not just on the same show on numerous times this year, but now they're going to go head to head in September. This will be great for any card, for any show, any promotion, big, small. But TSW got that covered for the Hamilton folks out there. So get your tickets, tswtickets.com. Doors open at 6, bell time is at 7. More matches will be announced in the coming weeks. But just this match alone, as well as Trey and Myron, you do not want to miss September 14th, TSW in Hamilton. I believe this is their last Hamilton show of the year. So you may want to get on them tickets.
Yeah, and that Trey and Myron match, that's a match that really has been more than a year in the making. When
Yeah.
when you reference, the Stack the Deck match, and that was really how Trey got the title in the first place. That was when he cashed in against Myron after Myron had finally defeated VSK. Myron had finally gotten up to that mountain, and then that's when Trey swooped in. So we've really been looking forward to seeing at some point when Myron was going to finally get his shot again. And I think everybody's looking forward to seeing those two get back in the ring, because every time those two are in the ring together, it's a show. Whether it's
Yeah.
at TSW, whether it's anywhere else, those two guys tear it up wherever they're at. And we're looking forward to that being a real super main event.
So that's going to be incredible within itself. These two were once friends, once upon a time. And of course, Trey, he won the deck match. He get his title shot. And obviously, he didn't like how Trey went with his approach to cashing in that opportunity. And Trey has been on the tears ever since. And Myron, all he's done is trying to work his way back up to that championship. And now Trey gonna have to face him again. And this time's for the title. So, they know each other, they train with each other, they've been on the road together, and now they're gonna want it back again. So this is a Myron. He's a former champion, obviously, and he's heavily motivated he wants to win that title back. He wants to send some validation, some vindication for what Trey did and his antics. Cause I seen Trey, he's a changed dude. And of course, last time I saw Trey was at Square Circle Expo, in which he defeated a fellow former champion VSK. And with that win, he went on to surpass him as the
Yep.
longest reigning TSW champion. So I'll ask you this as a co-owner, as a booker per se. Now you may not like his antics since winning that championship, but how you feel about him being the longest reigning TSW heavyweight champion of all time? What's your take on Mr. Lamar?
Yeah, I mean he's used some what they would call nefarious means to keep the title. He's had some of his crew with him, members only, and JDX kind of having a group there to support him. But at the same time, he's gone and defended that belt against a lot of top stars for us. He defended it against Jake Christ up north and Encourage Pro. I mean, he's put that title on the line against a lot of different people, and he's come through and kept it there. So he's really taken his game up a notch. And I don't know if that's because he kind of put the friendship thing aside and made it all about Trey. Maybe making it all about him allowed him to really go to another level. But he's been definitely a guy putting on a show, and he's really stamped himself as a great champion for us as long as he has held it in as many matches as he's had.
Yeah, I mean, in the wrestling business, you're gonna run into some egos.
You
And,
gotta have
and
a little bit of an ego to be
yes,
successful.
yes, you do.
No, nobody's going to get to the top of the food chain by being too nice.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess with Trey, that's kind of how he felt. He felt like he's getting there, but he needs to take it a step further. And I guess when he did what he did, he reached that point that if I don't do this now, then when? So, I, as a competitor, he ain't got no regrets. He's the longest reigning champion in the promotion's history. But now you got to face a guy that's heavily motivated. You're going to face a guy that's held that title, who's been waiting, chomping at the bit of wanting to win back that title. And who knows, for Myron, this might very well be his last chance of winning that championship because there's a lot of hungry competitors in that roster, and there's those traveling a long way looking at
Yeah,
this match closely. Like, I want a shot at that title. It's a prestigious championship, not just in Ohio, but across the country. It's a very prestigious championship, and that has to make you happy seeing your talent go travel and defend a title like that in different promotions. And that's definitely one of the things I also like about TSW because, as you pointed out at the beginning, you want to see other people succeed. You want some partnership going, so some
absolutely.
collaborations, um, and some networking along the way. And that's a testament of TSW. It's a testament of what y'all been doing for these last few years, if not longer than that. So, yeah, I mean, Chambers versus Diesel, Reed versus Lamar. Get your tickets, tswtickets.com. September 14th, Fitting Center at Hamilton, Ohio. It's the last Hamilton show of the year. So check it out if you haven't already. Now, while you are still planning, making some future announcements for that show, you already made an announcement for the October show on the 19th.
Yes.
And let's just say that show is going to be pimping of sorts because it was announced that WWE Hall of Famer, former Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, a man of numerous personas, but the most popular one of them all is the Godfather. He will be appearing at the October 19th show. I believe that's at Versailles, Indiana on the 19th. And tickets are already on sale for that show. Not only you can buy a ticket for the show, but you can also buy a meet and greet package for the Godfather, and he'll be there to sign autographs and take pictures for fans. How you feel? And you guys have had some big name stars for meet and greets and those that appeared on the show. How are you feeling about having the Godfather be a part of October's show?
Yeah, we're really excited. We our first Hamilton show a couple of years ago, last year at the beginning of the year, we had the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and I was really stoked about that. That was an awesome show for us to have him there. But having the Godfather coming out to Versailles October 19th, we've been around him a little bit at Squared Circle Expo. He's a fun-loving guy, and in real life, it's not an act. Like that
Yeah.
guy enjoys life. He has a good time. You're gonna definitely enjoy getting a chance to meet him if you're able to make it out to our Versailles show. Tickets for that show start as low as $10, so it's an easy get into the show, and then the meet and greet packages are very reasonable too. But we're just excited that we get to kind of connect ourselves with a WWE Hall of Famer, somebody that we watched always on the Monday Night Wars, really got into his character a lot, had a good time with it. That was, back in those teenage days for Logan and I, really got into that, seeing him out there. And, it's just so much fun to be able to kind of, connect with those guys now and really make them a part of our company and bring them in, because it's even a great experience for the guys on the roster. Those guys get a chance to kind of pick the brains of a veteran before the show and kind of in the locker room. So it's another one of those things where even the guys in our locker room get stoked about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, him being a vital part of the Monday Night Wars era. Now you got these young wrestling fans very thankful for so many options on TV and those in person. That's fine and dandy. But back in our day, back in the 90s in particular, we didn't have DVR. We didn't have the cable that we have in our fingertips, and that you have to decide which show you was going to watch. And the only way you can watch the other show is you probably had to put it on VSS and hit the record button. Uh,
It's funny you say that, because when I was a freshman in college, off away at college, we were in our dorm. At that time you would have your dorm and you didn't necessarily have cable, or if you did, it was at the community TV that you shared with the entire building, something like that. So my mom would tape the Monday Night Raws for 3 or 4 weeks, and then mail the VHSs to me, maybe 3 or 4 weeks at a time, and so that I could catch up on watching and everything. And it was because at that time we were just so locked in. It was so much fun. You were so into it. You just lived and died by those shows.
Man, the fact that moms did that, to quote Kevin Durant, that's an MVP. That's an MVP. Looking
Yeah.
out for the son, while he's
Any
in school. And
anybody that's ever met my mom knows she's the MVP. She's at
yeah,
she's at every TSW show, running the merchandise booth, saying hi to everybody. So she's not just been an MVP in life. She's an MVP for TSW too.
oh yeah, absolutely. So throughout the years, y'all done show in Hamilton, Ohio, Versailles, Indiana, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and of course Cincinnati, Ohio. So y'all label yourselves as a tri-state, no pun intended, promotion. So y'all spread around and do these different venues. So what's it like branching out into shows in Ohio and shows in Indiana, and just showing people we're not just one spot. We can go different areas and build a fan base wherever we go. What's that like expanding your promotion for these shows.
It's a lot of fun. You know, when we first launched TSW, the first places we ran were Versailles. Those were our first few shows because those were close to where Logan, the other owner, and I grew up. And we were the type of kids we knew growing up in these rural areas. There wasn't as much to do. If you wanted to go to, you know, a baseball game or you want to go to a football game, you wanted to go to some kind of entertainment option, you had to drive to Cincinnati. You know, you're driving half hour, 45 minutes, whatever, to get to Cincinnati to go somewhere. So we thought, you know, let's bring some of this action. If we can bring a fun, entertaining event out there to the rural areas, you know, that was really our deal at first. And then from there, kind of wanted to expand to run in some different areas, you know, try to find some cool venues. You know, Logan came across the fitness center in Hamilton, and as soon as we saw it, we were like, this is just perfect for a wrestling show. Because for those of you who've never been, it's in a small kind of family theater studio, seats about 240 people, but they're all these comfortable theater style seats. You're not sitting on folding chairs, you're not sitting on bleachers, you're in comfortable theater, you know, style seats. And this it's almost like old school studio wrestling set up in there. It's a little bit of a throwback to some of those days too. So it's just kind of nice for us, and we like being a part of the communities that we're in up there. You know, out in Versailles, we've set up a table at the farmers market to try to promote our shows and meet people. Up at Hamilton this weekend, we're the fitness center is making us a part of their season launch party. So they'll have people from the opera and places like that there with TSW because they've really embraced us there. Gives us a chance to kind of be a part of the community up there because that's important to us, to be a part of those communities. And we don't want to just drop in somewhere, run a show, and never really care about, you know, that city or town or anything again. We would love for this to be something where we get embraced by that area, and we can come there year after year after year.
Absolutely, man. So this season lunch party is at the fitness center this Saturday from 3 to 8. There'll be plenty of vendors, exhibition openers, hands-on art, live music, food, drinks, and more. And yes, the fine folks of Tri-State Wrestling will have a booth for that event. So stop by. If you're in the Hamilton area, go check them out and get your tickets for September and October as well. And the last show of the year will be in November. Match announcements will come once they become available, obviously. So, Tri State Wrestling, such an incredible promotion. Someone from TSW is celebrating a birthday. It's the Hunter Holcraft. It is his birthday today, representing the Hype tag team. Such a very intense team. So show some love to Mr. Hunter here, man. Talk about what he's meant to you guys in TSW.
Yeah, Hunter is a really super talented young kid. He and his partner Gage from the Midwest, you know, they trained out there, and they're just a couple of young, hungry kids who have a lot of talent. They're the tag team champions for Dreamwave, a company that runs kind of up around you know, the Chicago area there. You know, really talented. They've come here and they put on some great tag team moves. I think, you know, there are a couple guys who the sky is the limit for them, but also they're just great guys. You know, they're so, you know, easy to work with. They're so, you know, anxious to do better. They're always, you know, wanting to see what they could do to improve. You know, they're looking forward to any opportunities that come along. And I think, you know, there are a couple guys that really are going to be jumping up and being successful over these next couple of years.
Yeah, I've seen them at the first show that I went to, and then I saw Hunter a few times at Grindhouse. He's making a name for himself as a singles competitor and a tag team competitor. And Hunter just recently won the Wing Generals Podcast Championship at the previous Grindhouse show. So Hunter he's showing people he's more than just a tag team guy.
He's a
He's
suplex machine, man. He can
yeah,
throw some guys around.
yeah, he got the suplexes that Kurt Angle will be proud of, the amateur background that he's got going. So Tri-State Wrestling, check them out. They are on social media. You can check them out at tristatewrestlingonline.com. You can check them out on Instagram, YouTube, and X at TSW Pro Wrestling. So check them out. They also show you some highlights and clips from previous shows. And you can check out that altercation between Matt Diesel and Kayla Cassidy, which just posted just yesterday. So that's going to be a lot of animosity leading towards September for Diesel and Chambers, and Cassidy being the wild card. She's a very lovely lady, but she is no nonsense. She
You don't want to get on her
anything,
bad side.
you don't want to get on her bad side at all. She's a bad gal. She bad to the bone type of bad. She's someone not to mess with. Let's just put it that way.
That's the truth.
So, Mr. Rollins, thank you so much. I cherish the friendship. I cherish the passion for wrestling, and I cherish TSW. Considering I am a former Cincinnati resident, and there's numerous of promotions in the Cincinnati area that's really putting themselves out there, showing some really good wrestling, and just want to help evolve the city scene and the surrounding areas. And what y'all doing with TSW has been incredible. It's been incredible from a distance, and now I've got to witness it up close. So I'll definitely be tuning in. So I won't be able to make it to September, but I will be making plans for October and November.
Awesome.
And so Godfather, I'm coming your way once again. But bring the hat, bring the cane, and let's have some fun that day. So that's gonna be an incredible night. So Trey Lamar versus Myron Reed for the heavyweight championship. Damian Chambers versus Matt Diesel in a grudge match. We're gonna call it a grudge because
grudge match. There you go.
They call it a grudge. Who knows? The winner of that match might move up the ranks.
Yeah, that could determine who gets the next title shot. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. So thank you, Jerrod, man. Continued success with TSW. Tell Logan I say hello. And we'll cross paths again later this year for sure. Thanks again for your time.
Oh no, thanks. Thank you, Kenny. I really appreciate you having me on, man. And like I said, we appreciate all the support and love you give us on our side. And again, we're just looking for more and more success for the pro wrestling biz, especially here in Cincinnati.
Absolutely, man. You have a good night, man. Take it easy, man.
All right, take it easy, Kenny.
Right.